All doors are portals. In our modern context, most are too mundane to be called such. A door in a house must lead to a closet, a bedroom, a bathroom, someplace so familiar to us, the question, where does this lead, does not really have much curiosity behind it. But a door is still a portal, and many of us still dream of finding one which holds insurmountable curiosity. A door which screams, "What's that on the other side?" in a way which demands an answer. If you yearn for such a door, perhaps consider that the question is itself the door. All you have to do is ask it and be open to the possibilities. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Melissa, but if you're one of my strange and unusual subscribers, and you've been sticking around, then you already know that you can call me Missy. If things go according to plan this week, then the Beetlejuice film would have come out shortly before I released this video. When I saw that they were making a sequel, I felt apprehensive. I, like many others, very much enjoyed the original film. And within the last year, I discovered the Beetlejuice musical and listened to the soundtrack non-stop. I am intrigued to see how the new film comes out. In addition to being intriguing, finding out about the new film has given me a deadline. I say it's given me a deadline because I purchased this fabric at Walmart over 2 years ago with the intention of making myself a Beetlejuice inspired costume or outfit out of it, but I was a little too scared to use it at the time, and life and other projects got in the way. However, now is the perfect time to get to work on this. So, time to put on that Harry Belafonte record and get to work.
Swing that hammer, swing that hammer.
I began with a sketch. I have been fascinated by gender bending since I first got into cosplay, so I wanted to find the right flavor of pantsuit that would also tickle my quasi-vintage feminine sensibilities. I had been pinning things online for a few weeks and landed on a shirt dress with striped leggings and an Edwardian-inspired jacket. I had recently come upon this pattern, which is sort of an 80s does Victorian blouse, which I struggled to decipher. So it appears this pattern is in German. There is a little bit of English in a few places, but for the most part, oh hey, it looks like the instructions, there might be instructions in English. There's some things in here in English. So I want it to be shorter than it is. So that's number one. I want it to fit. I don't think I have time to make a mock-up, so I'm going to go with a larger size than I think I need because I can always bring it in if I need to. One of the issues is that I want there to be a collar on it, and the collar that's on here is probably not going to fit with the style of the thing that I want, so I might have to make up my own collar. In fact, I'm fairly certain that I'm gonna have to make up my own collar, but I think that I'll be able to make one maybe just by sizing up some of the pieces that are already in here. So I guess I'm just gonna start cutting out pattern pieces, but I need to go get my kids. And the battery's dying. Okay.
Jumping in line, run by the time. Okay.
I believe you. I think I finished cutting out the pattern pieces I need for this portion of the thing. I also have these skirt pattern pieces, which I pulled from this pattern in order to make the skirt portion of the jacket. Additionally, I went to Walmart and I got some bias tape and I got some green fabric to line the jacket. So today I need to get on cutting out pattern pieces and then I can start assembling the jacket. At this point, I have a plan. I'm gonna stick to it. Hopefully it turns out the way I like, and I just need to get to work.
I began by folding up my instructions because there are no instructions when your creation is a Frankenstein's monster of fabric and dreams. As you watch me lay out my pattern pieces, you may notice the sleeve is folded, and that was intentional. I wanted my sleeve to taper to the size of the cuff where the pattern had it gathered into the cuff. I also laid everything out several times because, again, Frankensteining means that instructions for laying out pattern pieces are meaningless, which means I had to gather all three of my cat-like brain cells and somehow force them to cooperate. We got there eventually. Very, very eventually.
I have most of my pattern pieces now pinned to the fabric, which I tried to line up the front stripes with the back stripes, but like it's just not working out all that well. If I really wanted to do a fantastical job, I would try and pattern match all of the stripes to the other pattern pieces so the stripes are really consistent throughout. However, I don't have the fabric nor the time to really achieve that. So I did my best to line up the grain lines so that they run parallel to my stripes, except for in the sleeves, because in the sleeves the stripes wrap around the arm. I've got it about as good as I'm gonna get it, so I am going to go ahead and start cutting things out.
Because I shortened the pattern, I had to add seam allowance as I cut to the bottom edges of my bodice pieces. And I did this by putting magnets on my scissors. Assembly was also an effort in controlling rebellious brain cells. I had put the instructions away and was not taking them back out, damn it! But also, I doubted they included instructions involving lining because the pattern was for a blouse, not a jacket. For some reason, I basted the back center panel to the lining fabric. I guess I intended it to be more adjustable because of the no mock-up thing. But I just ended up putting the back center panel in via French seam. But for the rest of the jacket, I just assembled the lining pieces and then the outer shell pieces separately and then basted them together after they've already been assembled. I did make one small adjustment, and that was to the armpit region. I had a little bit of gapping up in the armpit region, so I just went ahead and made it a little bit tighter in that region. The striped fabric does have some stretch in one direction, and the lining fabric is just kind of slippery. I don't really know how to explain it, but it also kind of had a little give that allowed for some stretch.
Welcome to day 3. I am standing in the middle of the mess that I have wrought, and I am channeling my inner demon in order to enjoy it rather than kind of panic a little bit that this is going to all need to be cleaned up eventually. But I have the beginnings of a coat. Jacket. We'll see how this fits. Okay, first of all, I have this sleeve. And I was worried that this would happen because I have long arms, but the sleeve is a little short. I have the cuffs. Where are the cuffs? My Chaos Palace! I cannot find things in my Chaos Palace. Okay, found them. So that's gonna be your cuff, and it's not gonna be wide enough to actually function as a cuff. Dang it. I'm going to need to cut new cuffs. It will be a little on the tight side. However, all of this is fairly stretchy, so I'm not terribly worried. I have a whole lot more assembly to do. I think I'm gonna need to pull out the cuff pattern pieces that I had used for other projects like this one. Yeah, I've got to get to work because I still want to make a dress too, and I haven't even gotten started on that. And I've got 3 days less than that because I have other things. Okay, I've got to get to work.
While I look for that, can someone please explain to me why I feel like I'm giving Delia in this whole part of the video? Not that I'm complaining because she is iconic. It's just I'm not sure where I'm getting that vibe from.
Okay, I was gonna go ahead and take care of that cuff problem. Like, I think I want to cut the skirting stuff out first and then make the cuffs out of scraps, perhaps. That rhymed. So I think instead I'm going to finish the bodice portion first, and I have this collar piece that I'm gonna go ahead and cut out of some mock-up fabric and then just see tentatively what it's going to look like attached to the jacket front, and then I can make any adjustments I need to make to the pattern, and then I can go ahead and cut out my final collar piece that's gonna end up going on the jacket. It's gonna be kind of a small little collar piece. And then when this folds over, okay, I think I want this collar piece. So if my facing flaps open, right, that's gonna be like your second half of your collar. So I'm gonna want my collar to come down further. I don't know, the collar situation is gonna look weird, I think. And that's just gonna kind of be the reality of it. But if I can get my collar to come down another 2 inches maybe, and it's connecting here, that'll help with the way that this all flaps open, I hope.
If you can comment down below the album that my kids are listening to in the background of that section, then I'll give you a gold star, or yellow, as the emojis allow.
I've got the collar situation done. It's not great. I either needed to fully line the inside, at least this panel, to get a nice collar situation because you get a little green poking out, or I needed this to come down at least 1 or 2 more inches than it actually did. And I think that that's partly my fault when I went to cut it. It is what it is. It's going to fit how it fits. It is what it is. I'm just gonna keep saying that until it feels better, which probably it won't. But like, A, I don't have time to cut new pieces, and B, I don't have the fabric to cut new pieces. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep, you know, it is what it is, and we're gonna move on.
Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. Okay, moving on. The skirt pattern is designed in 2 parts. So 2 edges are sides and 1 edge is the middle. I was cutting 3 pieces. So the 3rd piece I cut on a fold so that the final piece would match up with the 2 edges of my other pieces.
Trying not to feel too stressed out about this, because I feel like I need to get this jacket done today in order to be on time. I have the skirt portion attached. I have a pleat on either side to give it the feeling of a little more volume down at the bottom. There is a little dart right in the center in the back of it. The sleeve is still not fully attached, right? I need to detach it, apply the lining, reattach it, and also add the cuffs. It feels like so much. Then I still need to do the dress. And I also have a wig that I would like to get prepared for this whole thing. So, I don't know if I'm gonna have time. I think that I actually need to dye my fabric before I finish this. Hopefully I can get this finished tonight. But that way my fabric has time to be dyed and washed, dried, and then I can make my dress. Gotta get working.
I know I said I had to dye the fabric, but I needed some time to allow my brain to adjust to switching tasks. So I went ahead and got started on the sleeves first. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
That doesn't smell right.
Yeah, but it's not a real one.
I made up a spell.
You did?
Yeah.
What's your spell you made up?
If something's in flaming hot water, it will turn to ashes and steaming hot water. crumble in tremble. If something's in steamy cold water, you will drop into gas ashes.
Welcome to yet another day on I'm Pretty Wibbly Wobbly on my timey-wimey show, because I do not know how long it takes to make a jacket. I thought I would be done by now, but here I am, very close but not quite done yet. Today is all about the sleeves. I have these cuffs that are sewn up. I need to hand stitch the inside because I don't trust myself to baste it well, and then I should probably baste the outside edges because I do trust myself to do that. This sleeve still needs the cuff portion attached to it, and then both of the sleeves need to be attached to the jacket. What have I done? No! Okay, so if you look at the cuff here, I have separated the sleeve portion just a little bit and then basted down the edges of the lining to the outer portion. I had to separate those seams with ingenuity and a razor blade because I cannot find my seam ripper. I did the same thing to this sleeve last night, and I'm just noticing that I did it to the armpit end instead of to the cuff end where it was supposed to be done. So now I need to fix the top part because it's not supposed to be like this. And then I need to do the bottom part because it is supposed to be like that.
Hey boss, it's Lenny. He was wearing a disguise so we wouldn't recognize him, but now he's not wearing a disguise, so we do recognize him.
All right, well, now I have extra work I need to do, so let's get down to it.
The first thing that I did was fix that dumb mistake. And honestly, this project was riddled with dumb mistakes exactly like that one. I had to seam rip so many times because of all of the dumb mistakes that I made throughout this project. That was just the most dramatic moment of realization in this whole video, so I kept it in. Because I was hand stitching the lining to the cuff, I was able to go ahead and play some dominoes while I achieved that task. Then after losing a few rounds, I was back at the sewing machine because the only thing I had left to do was to attach the sleeves.
Finally, we have a jacket. I had wanted to use more bias tape around the edges of the armholes, but I had run out of bias tape, so it is just zigzag stitched into place. It's not pretty, but here it is, and it's done. Well, it's not fully done. It still needs buttons in the front, but I can wear it without the buttons. I just won't be able to close it. I'm gonna make you wait till the end of the video to see this on me because I have a dress to make. Let's get to work. Here's my fabric. You can't see all of it. Ooh, I feel like a bat. Maybe it's all in my head, but I feel like it smells like grapes. I think it might be the smell of the dye combined with the smell of my laundry detergent, which is supposed to be like a tangerine blossom scent or something like that. Anyways, to my brain, it smells like grapes, and I think that's just like the color telling my brain that it's purple, so it should smell like grapes. I don't know. This sheet has this lace detail at the end. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this lace detail. You know, maybe I should have made a plan beforehand. Because we're going for a bit of a suit ensemble, I think a shirt dress would be nice. I always get a ton of compliments whenever I wear this shirt dress out and about. And I've had other shirt dresses in the past that people have always told me that they love me in a shirt dress. So I think I gotta make another shirt dress. I like the idea of a little bit of a poofy sleeve. Yeah, that'll just rip right off. First order of business is removing this trim.
With the number of times that I just said shirt dress, it has me wishing that if I just said it 3 times, one would appear. Like,
you gotta do the say my name 3 times. 3 times in a row it must be spoken, unbroken. Ready? Hello, I got up a little extra early this morning and I didn't even talk to you guys before I started working. I got all of the dress stuff cut out last night and I sound goofy because again, I haven't even spoken. This is the first time I've spoken this morning. So I sound like I died and came back to life. Now that that elephant has been addressed, the other elephant is this, which is all of the stuff. I have cut out everything I need for the dress, and I also sewed the darts into the top. Then this morning, I started sewing everything together. As you can see, it is partially sewn together as we speak. So here, this is going to look a little bit like a mistake, but you can see this is the outside of my fabric and this is the outside. But I did do that on purpose because I want to add the trim on top of this, and I figured the trim could hide this and then it'll be finished on the inside and finished on the outside, and that'll just look really nice for me when I go to put my dress on. I did add pockets to the skirt, so those are in there. We need pockets in our dresses. Anyways, I have other important things that I need to attend to this weekend, so I really have to get this done lickety-split. Therefore, let's get to it. Clearly the sun has risen now. Last night I tried on the top part and it seemed to me like it was going to be kind of tight, and so I was a little concerned about that. And then I just tried it on earlier this morning and it felt kind of loose, which is a little bit concerning to me because with the lace here, I'm not necessarily going to want to wear a belt because then that will cover up this adorable lace waistband. But because it is a little big, it means that it's gonna be nice and comfortable, so I'm not too terribly worried about it because honestly, too big is not a problem. Too small is a big problem, and it's not too big by like a ton. We're good. It's all good. I'm going to baste down. Whoop. I just pinned myself because why did I do that? Why am I stroking fabric with pins sticking out of it? I have pinned down the lace trim. I will go ahead and baste it down with the machine and we will commence from hence. From thence? We will commence from thence. It looks like a repair was done here on this little portion of this lace, this eyelet lace. I don't know what else to call it really, but that's really kind of interesting, right? Also, I'm not entirely sure why this happened in the dyeing process. Maybe there was something spilled on the sheet that like I needed to wash out before trying to dye it. I thought I had washed the sheet in the past though. I usually wash everything I get from the thrift store. But yeah, I've got some weird splash marks here on right in the front of the dress. So I don't know how I'm going to address that, but it's something that might come up. What I need next is some facing to go up and down the front of the skirt because I'm gonna try and make it button all the way down. Because in my final outfit, I have some striped leggings and I think that it'll be nicer if you can see more of the legging. This dress is kind of a T-length dress at this point and it's really cute. I'm gonna love wearing it most of the time, but I feel like in order to get more Beetlejuice vibes, we're gonna need to be able to see more leg. En garde. Psh, psh.
The thing I'm remembering about the last time I used this pattern is that the shoulder, that's what it is, the shoulder on the pattern is a little too wide. So what I'm gonna do is reduce that. So I'm gonna take it from notch to notch. So there's a notch here in the shoulder. I think that'll be plenty to take off. And then there's a notch down here. So I am just going to draw a line from notch to notch. Now the back side is also going to need to come off, but as it is supposed to be, the back side comes out a little further. So I think I'm going to need to keep that in mind. So that'll be the front side, and then the back side, wow, the other one was more curved, and then the back is straighter, which kind of follows how the pattern is looking anyways, so that ought to do it. I was putting together the facing before I put the collar on, and I was supposed to put the collar on first, so I was seam ripping like I've been doing without my seam ripper, and I accidentally pulled on the fabric and split it right here at the collar, so I am going to need to patch that. I'm at a point in this project where, like the jacket, all I lack is buttons. I dread sewing buttonholes with my machine because I'm never able to get a very clean buttonhole, and it just takes forever to do all of that. So I bought an automatic buttonhole foot, but that doesn't come until Sunday. That doesn't mean that I don't have anything left to do today, because what I have is this very cheap wig that I got the day after last Halloween. It was $1 when I purchased it. It was originally $5.98. So a very, very cheap wig. I haven't even opened it. It looks like it had been previously opened or something. This is the photo. As you can see, it looks nothing like the photo. Because I'm gonna be doing something I've never done before, which is dyeing this wig.
Is my hair just greasy, or am I doing Snapecore?
It says must use on stovetop to maintain high temperature. This might be a problem because I doubt that this wig has any heat resistance.
Despite my apprehensions, I went ahead and channeled my inner Snape to work on the subtle art of potion making. I boiled the water first, but I decided that the benefit to not doing it on the stovetop was that it would cool off over time, which would make it less likely to dye the fibers as I went deeper and deeper into the dye bath, thus creating my desired fade from darker to lighter green effect.
It has been rinsed, it has been dried, and this is what it looks like. I am pretty happy with how it looks. It's pretty messy. I think I might try and get some floral moss and really glue that into the roots.
I know I said I thought I might, but I knew I was gonna as soon as the thought crossed my mind. This is floral moss from the dollar store, so it's actually kind of brownish. I used a little bit of alcohol ink to try and make it more greenish, but as it turns out, if you spend more money on floral moss, you can get greener floral moss. Also, my buttonhole foot did come on Sunday, so I marked out my buttonholes and sewed them. It actually took longer for me to figure out how to get the buttonhole foot to work correctly, even after watching a tutorial. So my first few buttonholes at the top of the dress still look kinda messy. Buttonholes aside, get ready for the reveal.
It's showtime! I got a business proposition for you. Come on. Step into my office. So, I hear you're having some problem with some plushies, some flashbacks, some disgusting blush ants. No worries, you've come to the right place. My credentials, well, I can tap dance. I can do this too. And, oh yeah, I can do this. so you could say I'm qualified. What do you think? Am I ready to go to prom? Check this out. Ooh. Ah. Hello. Look at this. I can do sultry. I can do sensual. Strike a pose. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this outro in a little bit more of natural lighting. I still have my fun lights on at the same time. But this is what it looks like in the daylight. I'm gonna put the jacket on one more time for you. I'm sweating like sap out of a Canadian maple tree. Can you see how sweaty I am? Can you see me glistening? Yeah, my hair peeks out. It's a cheap wig. There she goes. This is what the buttons look like. Here's the outfit all together. I love this dress. I could absolutely just wear it all by itself. Would I wear this jacket out and about? I think so. I would need to find the right outfit for it, but I have the perfect jewelry. I feel like it's looking okay right now, but I had tried it on the other day and I was like, oof, the tail, like the skirt portion, I didn't think it was flattering, but now I'm not sure. Have I changed my mind? Do I think the skirt on the jacket is actually flattering? I'm not sure. Regrets. I regret not lining the full front panels of this jacket. Whew. Look at these sweet pockets. Whew. All that space. All that space for goodies. Look at this. I put this whole phone in my pocket. It's down here. This is where my phone is right now. As far as a Beetlejuice costume goes, I do be a little worried that this dress is just a little too cute to be Beetlejuice. Look at the cute little puff sleeve. The sweet bit of swoosh. Without the jacket, it does not read Beetlejuice, but I feel like all together it does, and that is really fun.
I almost forgot to show some nail appreciation. If you would like to see the video where I painted it, it's on my channel.
I do think I can wear the pieces separately as little bits of outfit, so mission accomplished. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you liked anything about that video, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you would like to subscribe, go ahead and put your little fingies in there and subscribe, and then I can see you in the next video. Bye! Ah! I'm feeling a little lost.
Work it, girl. Work it.
It's a cheap wig, but it's mine. I'm not sure what this is. Ow. I just poked myself in the eye. Panic, 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 panic. It feels good. Why can't my brain just brain correctly? I'm like a bat. I look like a bat, and I love it. Can I do Marilyn? Ooh, there it is. That's the Marilyn. Combined with the smell of my laundry detergent. The thing I'm remembering about okay, yeah. I'm just gonna lay down next to it. Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again.